Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 22 of 30 Days of Transformation, a journey to your true self. Today, we're going to talk about finding your tribe and being able to connect with like-hearted souls, like-minded souls that really is finding your home and your connection with people on a level that represents your truest, highest version of you. That's what tends to happen as we go through this journey and we move from who we've been to who we're becoming. We tend to have this longing to go home or to find a sense of purpose, or really, I guess it boils down to like a place of belonging, to feel like you belong in your tribe, in your group. And the reason, if you feel that way, the reason you feel that way is because you're not truly stepping into the space and being and living in the space of who you truly are. Because from that space, you will align with your tribe. You will align with the people that best mirror and match you. And if we go through this transition and you're hanging on to maybe past relationships, past experiences that were with a twin flame, even, and you're holding on to that experience and you're not letting go of what you had, and not like, let's just say it was something that you experienced that you desire. And this doesn't even have to be with the twin flame, it could be with anyone. It could be with, a friend, even, that maybe you had a great relationship for 20 years, right? Or maybe even longer. This actually happened to me in my twin flame journey. As I say that, my twin flame awakening was with a friend of over 20 years and a colleague. And when we went through our awakening, we went through our evolution of mirroring to each other and clearing our past karma and helping activate each other to awaken parts of ourselves that needed to expand. And it was about our individual selves, not our dynamic. When that contract was complete, it was complete in our dynamic or in our connection or in our friendship. So when you become someone new who has been maybe your friend for 20 years, or even the person you thought to be your twin flame, no longer fits that mold of you. And then you're holding yourself back into this framework that is not even you anymore. And you're being stuck on that scenario, that person, that experience. And so what I find a lot, I hear this a lot with a lot of people as clients, people that I've just come in contact with, is that they can't really, they have no one else to talk to about these things, or they have no one else that they can share these things, or that they can experience these things with. And the interesting thing is, I always say is like, I've never had a problem doing that. And the reason I know that to be the case is because I don't care where I show up. I don't change what I need to share to fit that person, to fit that tribe, to fit those people. I stay who I am. I share how I share normally. I go through a process of that and I show up being myself. And what that tends to do is activate people in such a way that I'm around, that opens a spark, that opens a journey, that takes them on a journey that maybe they needed to hear that. And if you aren't doing that, then you're not aligning with the people you need to be with, because you're not fully being yourself with these people. And that's another thing I hear on this twin flame journey a lot is, well, I can't be this way, or I'm going to be afraid that that's going to make that person run, right? That's a big thing in the whole twin flame community. But it's not about, again, conforming to that person or being stuck in that experience. It's about being who you are through the process. So basically, a piece of this, if you feel like you're not where you truly belong, it's because then you're feeling disconnected from that version of yourself. And you're like coming into this place of even, not just feeling disconnected and not just feeling alone and separate from these things, which is separate from yourself, really, that part of yourself that's your true self. But you're feeling, say, let's give an example of lacking of support. Maybe you, in a community, in your tribe, you don't feel heard, honored, accepted, supported, right? So one of the things I always say And I'll tell you an experience of how I did this, and this would be your tip for today, is that show up in a place of giving what you want. So, I'll give you an example of this. Whenever I had COVID in 2021, and it was a really severe case, and I, for the first time in my life, began to understand what it was like to desire support, not even need it. Because you see, my whole life, I never needed support, wanted support, and cared about being supported because I didn't need anyone because I knew how to do everything. I knew how to show up for myself. I knew how to take care of myself. I knew how to fix things. I knew everything. And then I didn't feel like I could rely upon anyone to do anything for me, even if I wanted them to, because technically they could never do it good enough or to the level of what I could or what I saw to be what it needed to be. So there was a lot of like letting go of that control and letting go of not trying to do everything alone. And so, anyway, along the journey though, whenever like I got COVID for the first time in my life, I understand what it was like to need support. I was like, wow. Like I had no clue. And that's the other thing is we can't identify with people that need something if we don't have the same need. And if we don't know what it's like to need whatever that is that's there. But in this case, we're talking about support. So let's just say you desire support, emotional support, or just to show up, listen to somebody, then you need to put yourself in a position to show up giving support. And that's what I did whenever I had COVID. So what happened was for the first time, felt like I needed support and it wasn't showing up. I wasn't getting support and it wasn't anyone's specific fault. A couple of pieces of this was that I had trained everyone that I didn't need any help. And because I trained them, I didn't need any help. Then when I truly asked for help, it was not even in their program to even think she needs help so they weren't available. But on one level, on a divine level, they weren't supposed to be available because it put me in a position to be like, okay, now I'm asking, but I'm not even getting. And now I understand what it's like to basically not have it and need it and even ask for it and still not get it. So in that place, though, what I did was the way I do everything. I find a need and I serve that need in others. So let's give you an example. I found my purpose, and there was a lot of pain in my path of going through my purpose. So what I did was started helping people heal the pain along their path and finding their purpose. And that gave me my sense of purpose. It put me into purpose. And therefore it transmuted all my own pain. And it like took me away from not being in a service or my highest service or in my purpose into putting me in purpose. So it's a similar concept. So basically I started recognizing several people, and especially this one particular friend, that I could tell she was in a position I had been in or was still in. And the need and the desire to, be heard, be listened to, show up for. Even, I mean, just as simple as, how do you feel today? Like, did you get to eat anything today? And because that's how, like, I felt that bad in my own journey that, like, I felt like nobody even understood how bad I felt. And because of that, then no matter what anybody could do, it wouldn't have been, in alignment anyway. Hey, Heidi, you're welcome. Thank you, dear. So, so I started giving this person support because I knew what it was like to need it. And next thing you know, I started receiving support from people without asking for it. And the support I needed started showing up. But I had to step out of my own circumstances and I had to show up for people in ways that I needed shown up for. And then doing that brought to me what I needed, what I really desired. And the reason this links, if you're just tuning in, today is day 22 of 30 days of transformation, a journey to your true self. And today we're talking about you being able to find your tribe and truly coming into a place of having that support system that you need, and a team or a community that gives you a sense of belonging. And that if you don't have that, it's because in some level, you are not showing up at a place of being yourself, and you're separating yourself from who you are, which is separating you from the people you want to be with in your own tribe and your community that represent the highest version of you. And so that's kind of in a nutshell what we've been talking about. So if you're just joining and you've missed out on the several days prior, make sure to go over to my YouTube channel, Twin Flame Expert, and go into the live or the playlist, and you'll find the series of the 30 days of transformation. And if you're truly looking for belonging, and you're truly looking for a tribe, and you're truly looking to get connected, I really invite you to join us here in Sedona on April 4th through 7th, which is all about creating community, connection, and building a tribe of people in person to help really anchor in this community, which, if you followed me last year, and I kept saying, I'm being called to community, connection, collaboration in whole new ways than I ever had before. And it wasn't like I didn't do it before, but as we go through the journey of letting go of part of who we are, and we move into more of ourselves and our true self and our highest self, that automatically puts us in alignment with matches like. That's why you may no longer be in alignment with the people that you used to be really good friends with or in a really deep relationship with, because it's no longer a vibrational match to who you are. So if you want to get in, find your true tribe as your highest version of you, you got to show up living who you truly are, and you will align with who you are. And that's the laws of the universe. That is the whole principle of the law of attraction or law of assumption, and how batteries have a positive and negative polarity, which is really just masculine and feminine. And you're magnetic. You either magnetically pull towards you or you repel. And that's what this is kind of all about. So finding your tribe is about being who you want to be with. It's about showing up how, without the sense of not feeling like you belong anywhere, because basically you discover that home is inside of you, what you desire is inside of you, and that you are it. And then you don't have to long for anything, because you already are it, and you show up in that way. So anyway, if you're just joining again, I just want to recap. Make sure to catch the replays over on YouTube at Twin Flame Expert. And you can do that in the playlist that's a 30-day to transformation. And today is day 22, and I can't believe it. And you can check out the link in the description above or below based on your platform for the retreat. And also on Instagram, you can check that out. The link is in my bio. And would love to see you in Sedona, as I mentioned, and just share more and more of this knowledge, wisdom, insight with you in a way that's truly connecting in the physical connection, and it's really truly helping build a tribe, because that's the other piece of why a tribe is so important. And to find your tribe is because the power of two or more is greater than one. We've been alone long enough. And especially if you think about, as we went through COVID, and COVID put everybody into isolation, literally, right? And everybody's kind of coming out of that isolation and having that desire and that feeling of reconnection and reconnecting in a new way. But the thing is, when you break something apart that no longer serves you or represents who you are, or you have those tower moments of your life, that means it's like pulling apart a puzzle that won't go back the same. And when we go across this bridge from who we've been to who we are, we tend to want to go back to what we had, what we've known, what we've loved in that place. I mean, I've had a beautiful life along this way that went from the karmic side of things, that I really broke apart everything to rebuild something beautiful, to have that stripped away from me, to even then be like, I want that life back, because it was so beautiful and I loved it, but it didn't represent the next version of me. And the next version of me is what had to be torn apart to create a new version of me, so that I could expand my container to hold and support the frequency and the vibration of a bigger, better, bolder, brighter life. And bringing in more of who that person is that still shows up every day. And that being said, we're human. So we're in multiple dimensions here. We have, this higher version of ourselves that's not even fully here yet. But we have the version of ourselves that, no longer exists anymore. And then we have ourself that's here in this dimension that's operating every day, trying to go across this path and navigate this journey. And that is where you find the truest part of the self-love is accepting every step of it and not judging it, not judging yourself and not judging the journey. But also not ignoring the feelings, because there's feelings that come up with this as you change and you transform, and those are very valid feelings. And so it's not about ignoring those feelings. It's about honoring those feelings, and it's about not living in that space. But the minute you don't fight it and you can express it and you can share it and you can let it go, then you can move past it, with it being in a more of a healed state. So, all right, let me take a look here. So, and welcome everyone. A lot of you are here on Instagram. Thank you. So keep shining your light. That's right. My beloved Jeremiah says. So the key in it is from what he's saying is just keep shining your light. Keep showing up and sharing who you are as your most authentic version the best you can. And okay, so on my personal page, he's got the link for the retreat that he's put in there. And Heidi, let's see what you have to say. It's very, very important message. You are so right, Heidi. Thank you so much for your journey. I know you've been following, I think you've been here basically every day since this whole 22 days has taken place. And just to give a heads up, for those of you that maybe have heard me say this or maybe haven't, we leave to go out of town tomorrow, and I lost a week in this whole process of my own journey. And I say, this is one of those moments where I literally lost my mind in a good way. And the reason I say that is because I thought we had a whole nother week before we went out of town in my mind when I started those 30 days. And I didn't realize that I thought I'd be done with it and then leave. And no, that didn't happen. So I'm leaving tomorrow. I plan to come on tomorrow. And give me grace if I don't make it, but I will plan to be here tomorrow. And then I will pick up when I get back. And if you didn't hear me say this before, the reason I'm saying this again now is as an example for you, a living example. The old version of me would have packed up my equipment, took it over to a family trip, and would have made sure every day to got this in. And I really contemplated that whenever I discovered what happened. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's an old version of me. That's a previous version of me. And that's not the highest version of me. The new version of me is about showing up, sharing, and being with family and choosing family over my work. And so these things happen sometimes to give us an example, give us the experience we need to step into that version of ourselves. So this is a true testament of an experience that I'm just going to have to do it when I get back. And that's me choosing family over, where I haven't done that in the past, over my work stuff. So thanks for allowing me to show up and shine and share and be my authentic self. And I'm going to recap this one more time, just so you know what we got going on here today, because there's still several of you still here. Just want to make sure that you know that this is day 22 of 30 days of transformation. Today, we've been talking about finding your tribe and finding where you truly belong. And that the way you do that is you find that belonging within yourself, and that you show up being your authentic self and expressing who you are along the way. And that if you'd like to catch up, you can go to Twin Flame Expert on YouTube, and there's a playlist there. And if you really want to make a connection, community, and feel like you belong, meet us here in Sedona, April 4th through 7th. And the link's in the description above or below, or in the link in the bio in my Instagram. Okay? I love you guys loads. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, I'll see you when I get back, but I plan to be here tomorrow. So thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day, night, evening, or morning. And I'll talk to you soon.